Start the stream. Yeah, go. Water? You good? Okay. Welcome back to the Nightcap here on the ISC Network. Blair Setford, one more time from Sheridan Meadows Complex in Eldridge, Iowa for Wednesday evening and late into the evening as it's approaching 10:50 p.m., almost 2 hours behind schedule as we have had a plethora of fantastic ball games here in the ISC World Tournament. Started off on the main diamond here today. AW Lumberjacks beating Oma Tigre 4-1 in 9 innings. That one got us a little behind schedule, about 45 minutes. Then J&B rallied and overcame a 3-run deficit to come back to win 7-4, but that game was a marathon and took well over 2.5 hours to play. And then if you were just with us here on the ISC Network, one of the best games played in recent memory, New York Gremlins walking off on the strength of a Wayne Laulu, no doubter, 6-5 winners over the Hill United Chiefs. And that gets us to our nightcap. Kitchener-Hallman Twins at the plate. Teo Migliavacca to be followed by Cam Schiller, then Tomanoka, Riley Macchia, Ryan Boland, Mariano Montero, Ernesto Sanchez, Huemo Mata, and Jonathan Lynch for the Twins. For Kegel Black Knights, left to right in the outfield, Mike Lewis in left, Alan Piquet in center, Shea Bryant in right, and on the infield, Blaine Milheims at third, Federico Eder at short. Second base, it's Zach Shaw, first base, Jeff Lewis. Ramon Godoy pitching, and Juan Cruz Zera doing the catching for Fargo Kegel Black Knights, appropriately in all black tonight. You see Alan Piquet right in front of you. Yeah. He is occupying front and center there. We may have to move that camera a little bit. Teo Migliavacca at the plate. Full dark tonight. Godoy. And upstairs to Teo Migliavacca, and you've got a quartet of Argentine national team players, Alan Piquet, Roman Godoy, Teo Migliavacca, and Juan Cruz Zera in your frame. Called strike 3, the outside corner. Migliavacca down on strikes as we get things underway here on the ISC Network in the nightcap. If you're just getting in with us, Blair Setford, Luciano Lafranco, Uppa, my Spanish partner here on La Liga Premier Softball, doing all of the games in Spanish, doing all the production work for us here this week as well. You see some great drone shots over the last couple of games. Don't know if we'll get the drone out for this one or not, but some fabulous photography here on the part of Luciano. We'll look at getting this Center field camera sorted out for you shortly. Just off the outside corner from Roman Godoy. Fargo got to this game in an extra innings thriller. 4-3 winners over the Circle Top Dukes a couple of nights back. And similarly, in extra innings, the Twins, 2-1 winners on top of J&B to get into this game. As we very quickly got into the top teams in the winner bracket, this tournament has really tightened up. Still a good crowd in behind home plate here at the Sheridan Meadow Complex in Eldridge, Iowa. It's the 75th annual ISC World Tournament. Called strike 3 again. So Schiller down on strikes as well. That'll bring up Thomas Anoka. Godoy beat the Twins in 2018 in Kitchener with Circle Top. And then they returned the favor, knocking Godoy and the Dukes out of their own tournament when Circle Top hosted in 2019. Anoka will look to join his brothers Ben and Campbell in the winner's bracket final. Don't know if that'd be an ISC first, but it would certainly be a feat having 3 brothers in the winner's bracket final. Foul back at the plate on the part of Anoka. Riley Macchia on deck. Ryan Boland, should we extend the inning? Godoy, of course, the hard-throwing Argentine. Good drop ball. Real good changeup. They go way outside and miss. Some courage to take that pitch with 2 strikes from Thomas Anoka. Don't know. Sorry, I don't recognize this one. We're wondering who the home plate umpire is. Maybe one of you umpire aficionados can let us know who that is behind the plate. That pitch just missed inside, and Anoka aboard with a 2-out walk. That'll bring up Riley Macchia. Macchia steps in from the right side. A little waggle of the bat. Yeah, don't worry. We'll adjust that camera angle in between innings. We won't have you looking into the back of Alan Piquet for the rest of the night. It's hard for the players when the games get this far off the schedule because they've got to come early in case there's a run rule game or something like that. You can sit around the hotel only so long, and then you get stuck sitting at the park. I know the Twins were warming up on the diamond behind us. I assume Fargo was using the other diamond. But then again, when a game goes extras, you don't know how long that's going to last either. So it can be tough. Called strike at the plate. Had a notion to go after it and maybe should have. If you're just getting back with us on the ISC network, Blair Setford, swing and a miss. All you missed was a 2-out walk by Thomas Anoka. Ramon Godoy strikes out everybody else. We're going to go to the bottom half of the first. Stay with us on the ISC network. Kegel Black Knights coming up. As the Fargo Kegel Black Knights come to the plate in bottom of the first inning, Alan Piquet, Blaine Milheim, Federico Eder, Juan Cruzera, Mike Lewis, Shea Bryant, B.J. Gullick, Zach Shaw, and Jeff Lewis in the 9 spot. For the Twins, left to right across the outfield, Mariano Montero, Teo Migliavaca, and Riley Macchia. And then around the horn on the infield, Ernesto Sanchez, Cam Schiller, Thomas Anoka at second, and then Jonathan Lynch at first. 2 outfielders on the right side of the infield, Anoka and Lynch, but they have played very well over there thus far through the tournament. And big Huemo Mata working to Ryan Boland. Mata came out on fire against J&B on Monday night. I talked to Ryan Boland last night here at the park, and I said to Boley, I thought that Mata was going to throw a perfect game the way that he threw the first 3 innings. He replied, so did I. And swing and a miss. No. Not a swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Piquet just had a beautiful World Tournament back in 2019 with the Kitchener-Hallman Cubs, who made the championship game that year, knocked out the Big Brother Twins in the loser bracket final. And swinging a foul back here. That, I think, got a bite out of Ryan Boland and the way he's walking around, and I can guarantee you that got a piece. Our home plate umpire, as a good home plate umpire does when one of his catchers gets clipped, will give him a bit of time. He'll walk the ball out to Mata and jog back into position. I'm sure he'll check with Ryan to make sure that everything's all good. Will Mata, the big lean. Ball 4 to Alain Piquet, and probably not the start that Waymo Mata and Ryan Boland were hoping for. Blaine Milheim will step in. Milheim has been smashing the ball all season long for the Kegel Black Knights. And a strike poured in by Mata on that outside corner. Hard drop ball on the outside corner. Piquet on the move to throw down and gets away from Schiller. So stolen base for Piquet. Not sure if they were going to have him, even if Schiller's able to hang on to that. Piquet is just so quick. Right to Thomas Anoka. Easy play for second out, and Piquet up to third on the play. Federico Eater, shortstop for Fargo. Prior to that, he was with the Circle Top Dukes for a couple of seasons and did some good work there for Circle Top. Cruz, Zera, Eater, Piquet, Milheim, the top of the order. All new players to Fargo. And all have had a huge impact for the Black Knights this year. Called strike 3, outside corner. Boy, Waymo Mata just picked a spot right there. Can't do a thing with that pitch. So Juan Cruzera, certainly a familiar face for Waymo Mata. These two were battery mates on the Cubs for the last couple of seasons. And Piquet will get in with the first run of the game from third on that wild pitch by Waymo Mata. Overcooked the curve and well away from Boland. And Piquet streaks in. So 1 ball, 1 strike. One hopper to Schiller. He'll make the easy throw to first. They get out of the inning. They get Cruzera, but that leadoff walk, as it always does, inevitably comes around to score. Knights 1, Twins no score after 1. So I guess we're right at the end of our tether for that camera, so we may have to ask Alan Piquer to play somewhere else. Called a strike on Ryan Boland. Be Boland, Mariano Montero, and Ernesto Sanchez for the Twins, as this order has been pretty static for the first 3 games. Had a notion to chase, and yes, he did, says our third base umpire. So Mariano Montero, who is a veteran on the Argentina national team, making his ISC World Tournament debut this week, and up and away. A lot of teammates on the national team in this game. So Godoy works and just misses downstairs. Good at bat by Montero. Worked the walk. That pitch was high from Godoy. Ernesto Sanchez on the Mexican national team did a lot of the catching for the Twins over the course of the summer, as even though in theory they are, well, in theory and practical fact, they are an Ontario-based team with only Ryan Boland on the roster as the Canadian. They go to 2 for 1 and back to 1 for 2. Call it 2. Some flashy defense there by Kegel Black Knights. Mike Lewis, Shea Bryant, BJ Gullick will be the batters for Kegel Black Knights here. Home half of the second inning. They've already enjoying that 1-0 lead, courtesy Alan Piquet. Walk, stole second, up to third on the ground out, and then home on the wild pitch. Oh, great play over there by the third baseman, Ernesto Sanchez, flashing some leather for Kitchener-Hallman Twins. Real good play over there by the third baseman. Shea Bryant steps in. That pitch just misses inside to Shea Bryant. Bryant, last couple of seasons with the Toronto Batmen, and then with the whole COVID situation and the border being unavailable for land crossing, Bryant hooking up with Fargo Kegel for the year. Up and in from Huemo Mata. I don't think either on a warm night or a cold night you want to get dotted by Huemo Mata as hard as he throws. That's an easy play for Mata. BJ Gullick, designated player for Kegel. This game a demonstration of the depth in the Argentine pitching staff. The ace in Mata And the 2 in Roman Godoy. But both the starters for their respective club teams. And we saw Pablo Migliavaca throw some real good innings for Hill United in the previous game. That pitch just misses outside. There were rumors at one point that we were going to see Huemo's older brother, Lucas. And for those of you who have been around for a while, you can certainly see the influence of Lucas on Huemo. Just in the motion, bent over at the waist, and the big lean back here. And swing and a miss. 1-2-3 inning for Huemo Mata. His Twins trailing 1-0, but coming to the plate in the top of the third. So Huemo Mata will step in to bat in the 8 spot as the designated player. Daniel Chapman, of course, is listed as the flex. Only a couple of guys on the bench for the Hallman Twins this year. Not a real deep lineup. Gonzalo Masmu and Gian Cialacomo. Another couple of Argentines who are available for the Twins. Mata's got a heavy stick, as does Roman Godoy. Both of these guys could hit in anywhere in the lineup. Upstairs. Big heavy cut there from Huemo Mata. Fouled that one straight back to the screen. I can remember vividly being in Simcoe, Ontario for the Hill United Chiefs Challenge in late June, early July. In fact, it was the Canada Day weekend in 2019. It was in between heavy cut again there by Mata fouls it back. It was in between the World Cup and the Pan Am Games, and there was a club team tournament. Both Huemo Mata and Roman Godoy were there with their respective club teams. At the time, the Cubs and the Dukes. They were playing on opposite diamonds, and this was like a wagon wheel type of complex. And this one well hit, center field, way back and gone. A line shot, home run for Huemo Mata. Tie ball game. Got all of that, a no-doubter. And just to finish my story, Mata and Roman Godoy were playing catch across the space in between the two diamonds. And you have to wonder how many times they played catch, how many times they faced each other. And here in the ISC World Tournament, Huemo Mata gets the early jump on his national teammate. Jonathan Lynch in the 9 spot for the Twins, and for as long as he's been on this Twins team for the past few seasons, I've always felt like they've been hiding Jonathan Lynch down here at the bottom of the order. Lynch can hit the ball gap to gap, has good speed, usually makes pretty good contact. That one misses downstairs from Godoy, and the knock on Godoy is that sometimes he can get rattled a little bit. And we'll see how he responds to giving up that long shot off the bat of Huemo Mata. Oh, there's that good changeup. Lynch well out in front, and you almost saw a bit of a nod to Roman Godoy on the part of Jonathan Lynch after that pitch. Called strike 3. That one looked like it split the uprights from our vantage point here, looking on the video monitor. So back to the top of the shop, Teo Migliavaca. 5 strikeouts through the first 9 for Roman Godoy. So Migliavaca back in. Godoy back to the board. And way upstairs. Had some good snap on that one, did Godoy. And that one misses downstairs from Godoy. So full count on Teo Migliavaca. Payoff pitch from Godoy. And rise ball up and out of the zone. So 1-out walk puts the speedy Migliavaca aboard and brings up Cam Schiller. Schiller has some pop. He can hit the ball out of the yard. Godoy very deliberate out on the mound right now. And a called strike on the outside corner. Schiller was a great guest on Outside the Chute, the Atlantic Canada podcast with Randy Frame and Chris Hopewell. A couple of months back, got to hear about his Migliavaca thought about going to third, but then thought the better of it as he had to play in front of him, and Mike Lewis was quickly on that ball. Schiller was talking about his career in minor league baseball. How after a couple of years realized it was as far as he was going to go, and at a bit of a crossroads at that point because baseball was really all he had known at that point, and was asked to play in a softball game. And it took him a couple of years, and he talked about being at the 2016 ISC World Tournament, his first one, and watching Adam Folkert and Sean Cleary pitch and realizing how far he had to go as a player. But here we are only a couple of years later, and we talk about Cam Schiller being among the best shortstops in the game, and he has certainly picked up the fine art of hitting as well. So it was a real interesting podcast. I thought one of the good ones, of the many good ones that Randy and Chris have done. And that one gets through Juan Cruz Zera, pass ball, and a couple of runners now in scoring position. Thomas Anoka usually has been pretty reliable in these types of situations over the years. He and Boland, teammates back in 2016, 2014 through 2016. And right back up the middle, Thomas Anoka is going to score two with an two RBI single. Pass ball certainly come into effect right there, as maybe one of those runs only scores without it, but with it, two of them score, and the Twins now out to a 3-1 lead. Riley Macchia steps in. And that pitch out and away. The Twins in full throat on their bench. Swing and a miss there. Riley Macchia. Good thing he had the shoes tied up, or he would have come out of them with that cut. Godoy, like many other pitchers, has really slowed the pace here. And this one, wild pitch to the screen. No chance for Cruz Zera there. Another runner up into scoring position as Thomas Anoka takes advantage of that miscue. Long time again, in between pitches. And Makia pulls that one foul. Keep an eye on Thomas Anoka in your frame. You watch him shift from one side of the base to the other. That's just a little tip to Riley Makia at the plate as to pitch location, whether it's up, whether it's down, in or out. You see Anoka looking in for the sign. And now crossing over. Makia fouls this one off. These are the little things that you see the game within the game. See a lot of guys up in the fence will be keeping a closer eye on Godoy. And does he flex the wrist muscle? Does he turn the wrist? Does he cock the wrist? Does he do something different for the rise ball compared to the drop ball or compared to the changeup? Just a little muscle twitch can be enough to tell the difference from pitch to pitch. Upstairs. And that pitch had some zip on it, but he missed upstairs. And I think Eater certainly saw something there, and he's called out Cruzer to have the conversation with Godoy about a different set of signals. Hallman Twins and Fargo Kegel Black Knights have been frequent opponents throughout the summer, and the pattern has been that in the round robin, the Twins have typically prevailed. Check swing, and Anoka is going to come all the way around and slide in. And again, that wild pitch was enough to put him up into scoring position. He doesn't score on that play if he's not up at second base already. And a couple of self-inflicted wounds here on the battery between Roman Godoy and Cruzer. Rob Schweier and Brady Woods, the additional pitchers, righty and lefty, respectively, on the roster for the Kegel Black Knights. Robbie Schweier came in the other day against Circle Tap and picked up his 30th career win in the ISC World Tournament. Just looking to see. Nobody moving right now in the Fargo dugout, but Jim Landerman out for that visit. Boland with Makia aboard. And that one is foul down the left side. I don't know if she's still up in Newfoundland, where it's got to be coming up on 2:30 in the morning. But Janet Boland was with us earlier, the mother of Shane Boland and Ryan Boland. If you are still with us, Janet, wish you a very good morning in St. John's, Newfoundland. Chases a drop ball down in the zone. And fouls this one out of play, right in on the hands. Good pitch from Godoy. Boland also among the 12 core members who were named to the Canadian national team. Sean Cleary amongst those. Colin Walsh, Bradley Ezekiel, Shane Boland, Jason Hill, the Newfoundland contingent, if you will. Over the top, Boland can't catch up to that good hard drop ball, and down on strikes the second time, and that'll bring us to Mariano Montero. Heavy on the Argentine contingent tonight, and one of the reasons why we have my new friend Luciano here. Muy amigo. So we've got English and Spanish broadcasts here going this week, in case you hadn't noticed. Call the ball. Luciano has done all the production work here this week. Puts up the cameras as he does through his Liga Premier Softball YouTube channel. Covers tournaments all over North and South America. And through the efforts of Greg Leather, Varmatosian, Les Novak with the ISC, we're able to bring you the coverage here this week, and we certainly want to say thanks to them. And special thanks to Luciano, who on very short notice agreed to come out and do the setup and work the event here with us. And the feed that you're watching on the ISC network comes from, the video feed comes from Luciano, and then my audio over the top of it. Montero swings and misses. Can't catch up to that rise ball from Roman Godoy down on strikes. But the Hallman twins strike back. They lead now 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the third for the Knights coming up. So there's some New York Yankee fans out to our right here in the outfield on Diamond 1 as they do the name clap chant for the outfielders as they come out to play each inning, and they get the cap tip and the crowd cheer. Mata working to Zach Shaw, Jeff Lewis, and then back to the top of the shop for Alan Piquet in the bottom of the third here. Shaw down on the ground out. And just misses inside to the 9 batter, Jeff Lewis. If you missed it during the Hill United game, and you're just getting in somewhere else in an exotic time zone, if you get a chance, go back and check out the interview we did, fortunate enough to do with Scott Standifer. Had a great chat with Scott in the middle of the Hill United Gremlins game. Scott into the ISC Hall of Fame on the weekend. And here managing this week, Circle Top Dukes. Dukes on the short end of a 7-4 loss to Sean Cleary and J&B. That game really put us behind schedule. Mata backs off. Called strike 3. Pours in a good drop ball. Jeff Lewis. That wasn't the pitch he was looking for. Back to the top of the shop. Alan Piquer. Very similar stance to Bradley Ezekiel. Perhaps not quite as exaggerated with the hands over the helmet, but certainly getting close to that. Turns to bunt and got a called strike. Mata wants to know where that pitch was, but nope, 3-0. I thought one of them was a strike too. Well, there's a strike. Chopper on the infield. Mata is going to try and sidearm this over to first, but they're not going to get Piquer on that. He runs way too fast. Want to give a shout out to Ty Bartarillo, who is with us. Also, Sean Whitten out in Western Canada. A couple of veterans in the ISC. Bartarillo was with this Fargo squad in Circle Top in 2019. Milheim. Yeah, foul over there. Look out kind of foul. foul back to the screen. So 0-2 on Milheim. Twins pushing across 3 in the previous inning. And that's how they got the lead. Missing downstairs. Wemamata helping himself with a big, long, loud solo blast. But both he and Godoy have significantly slowed the pace here. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Milheim can't get the bat off the shoulder. Twins will hang on to that 4-1 lead. They'll come to the plate. Ernesto Sanchez, Wemamata, and Jonathan Lynch. 7-8-9 for the Twins. Top of the 4th inning. ISC Network, our nightcap, turns into about to turn into a morning mimosa. Sanchez thought about going after that pitch, but 2-0 count. And the well-lubricated fans are starting to get on to some of the players. It's not quite like the Bronx Zoo and Yankee Stadium, but we're going to do our best impersonation here. Ball 4. Sanchez barely got the bat off his shoulder there, but got the walk. And Wemamata launched that home run to center field. Inside. Sure, the pitcher's union rules go out the window. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. Pardon me. And big cut again, big fly, but this one's on the infield, and Federico Eater will haul that one in. So one down. That'll bring up Jonathan Lynch. Jonathan caught looking in his first plate appearance. Pecker's back. Called a strike. Oh. And Lynch, little bleeder in front. Godoy turns, throws, and they get him at first. Good position fielding there by Ramon Godoy. Got a lot of good fielding position, or fielding pitchers, rather, that are still in the tournament. Cleary among the best. These two also. So back to the top of the shop, Teo Migliavaca. And there's our good friend Alan Pecker again. Downstairs. And that's a base running error there. Sanchez ran right into the tag. Federico Eater, play was in front of him, but just ran right into it. Didn't even have to throw the ball. Got a visit in between innings here in the back of the booth from Wayne Laulu, Ben and Campbell Anoka, Josh Pettit. Still here in the park celebrating that big win by the New York Gremlins. Just dropped by to say hello on their way out. Hard shot, Schiller picks it up, throw to first, got him! Good play there by Cam Schiller to stick with it. Federica Eder thrown out by his counterpart. And to nobody's surprise, as he always does, Wayne Laulu still a big grin on his visage. Always good to see the boys. That one just missed downstairs to Juan Cruz Zera. And we have somebody climbing the fence, I guess. That's the shaking on the camera. As it's mounted on top of the fence, there's a base hit for Juan Cruz Zera. That center field camera is mounted on the permanent fence behind the temporary orange fence. And the exit to where we are is way over to your left, where that orange tent is, way in the background. A lot of people just hop over the fence with the yellow tile on the top, but that shakes the fence and shakes our camera. Matamis is downstairs, so Mike Lewis at the plate. Mike grounded out to third in the second inning. Cruz Zera runs very well, and not just for a catcher out at first. Boland was up and out of the crouch on the bluff by Zera that last pitch. Just missed outside. Boland's just going to have a quick ask. Bluff again by Zera coming off. If it was Rafa Flores, he'd have thrown down there twice by now. And a walk. So Mata having some problems here in the bottom of the fourth, as a single and now a walk puts a couple of runners aboard for Shea Bryant. You know, when you're cruising along, you want to keep that on cruise. You don't want to make it harder for yourself. But sometimes the attention span wanders a little bit. In the middle innings can get a little tough. Talk to veterans like Todd Martin and Dean Holine and others. They'll talk about having to bear down in the middle innings and where you got to keep your form. The mental game, as Yogi Berra once said, is half the game is 90% mental or something to that effect. Tapper out to Lynch. Made the right play, waited for the ball to come to him. If you go get that, you might have to get that on a short hop, and you're not going to get anybody anywhere else on the infield on one of those slow rollers. So make the sure play and get the out. 2 down. That'll bring up B.J. Gullick. Couple runners in scoring position here for Fargo. Can't squander these opportunities. They don't present themselves all that often. Have to take advantage. I know it's a cliche, but you got to take advantage of the opportunities when they arise. Swing and a miss. That goes off the foot of Bolin, goes way up in the air. And so taking advantage of the opportunity is Juan Cruz Zera to score on a pass ball. And a run back for the Knights will make it 4-2. So Golick with a base hit here can bring in Mike Lewis from third base. Or another wild pitch will also do the job, as Mata just hasn't quite been on it this inning. And I'm sure, well, I thought Bolin was going to go out for one of his many mound visits. Flex of the leg there from Ryan, too. I wonder if he kind of got caught betwixt and between. Foul back, way out of play. Long look in from Mata, now starts the motion. But misses down and out, and he's been in that spot a lot this inning, and it's almost like they're falling into a bit of a rut here. They keep going back to that same pitch, and he hasn't quite been close with it here this inning. Well, come in with one there, and they got the called third strike on B.J. Golick. He goes down looking, but the Knights get one. They cut the lead to 2. And we'll head to the top of the 5, or slide to 5, as my good friend Lance Wynn would say. Stay with us on the ISC Network. He's back. Alan Piquet, he's back. He's saying hi. He's like that housefly that lands on your TV and then doesn't go away. Oh, he's right in our view, too. Cam Schiller, Thomas Anoka, Riley Macchia. They did some damage the last time that they were up. Schiller singled, Anoka 2 RBI single, and then Riley Macchia an RBI single. Kuzera to have a word with Ramon Godoy. I think that must have got a bite of our umpire. He went for a walk. Downstairs, ball. Schiller and some other players are talking about organizing a state-by-state American championship. All the best players in Illinois are on the Illinois team. All the best players in Texas on the Texas team. And sounds like an interesting idea. Be interesting to see if they're able to get this event off the ground. This one is punched out to center field. Schiller aboard with another base hit. It'll bring up Thomas Anoka. Anoka's been solid in the 3-hole for the Hallman Twins this week, and has been solid at second base rather. Primarily an outfielder with both the Black Sox and Toronto Gators in the past, but playing some good second base here this week. Good pickup there by Cruzera on that low drop ball that hit the dirt right in front of him. And some good zip there on the drop from Ramon Godoy, still throwing hard. Schiller unlikely to be on the move. And a foul off there by Thomas Anoka. Felt he should have done more with that pitch. You could just see the look. So Anoka gets back in the box. Godoy touch up that Gorilla Gold Rag. Good snap, but just off the outside corner. Up and in from Godoy, and again, you just see the body language there from Ramon Godoy. Looked a little discouraged, and I'm sure Federico Eater saw that as well, and in to have a quick chat with his countrymate and pitcher. And that one outside, and you wonder whether a mound visit is due here. Well, here comes Cruzera now. This one dragging a little bit here as all the Kegel Knights infielders in for a chat. And it looks like that is going to be it for Ramon Godoy. Robbie Schweier making his way out to the mound, and you just wondered how long you were going to go with Godoy, as this is the third time through the order, and you don't want to give all these hitters an additional look at Ramon Godoy, especially if he was struggling to find the strike zone. So good move here, I think, by Kegel Black Knights to make a change and just give the Twins a different look. Robbie Schweier is going to come in. He's not going to throw as hard as Ramon Godoy, but he'll change speeds, he'll hit spots, work the changeup. He came in and did a real good job, as we mentioned, picking up his 30th ISC win the other day in relief of Godoy. Picked up Godoy in that circle tap game and gave his team a boost by coming in and shutting the door. The veteran is been in the ISC since the late 90s. Won a couple of championships with Broken Bow back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He and Gerald Muslar were quite the tandem back in the day with the Broken Bow Travelers. And Robbie's going to see a bunch of his teammates from those days heading into the Hall of Fame next year, as Ryan Wolf, Gerald Muslar, Darren Box, and Reese Casely, who were all a part of those Broken Bow teams from early mid-2000s, are on their way to the Hall of Fame next year. Travis Wilson also elected, as was Bob McGowan, for the Bob Welby Recognition of Service Award. So congratulations to everybody that was voted on and announced on Tuesday, as was the fact that we're going back to Circle Tap for the ISC World Tournament in 2023. Makia looked like he wanted to bunt, but pulled the bat back, but got a strike call nonetheless. Swing and a miss upstairs, and good pitch there from Robbie Schweier out on the corner of the plate. Good rise ball. So you saw the waggers drop 2 fingers on the signs, the waggle, and there was the changeup, and called strike 3. So 3 different pitches from Robbie Schweier, and down goes Riley Makia. Kind of left wondering what just happened. So down to Ryan Boland with 1 down and a couple runners aboard. Opportunity to extend this Twins lead. And that hits Boland, and he'll make his way down to first. Didn't take the bat with him this time. That's always a good thing. Ryan and I laughed about that the other night. He got hit by Schofield, and I said, you forgot to drop the bat before you left. Mariana Montero will step in. Bases loaded. Big opportunity here for Montero to break out hit a ball to the gap. Schweier, originally from Simcoe, Ontario, lives in L.A. now and is a athletic trainer. Does a lot of work with softball players in the California area, pitchers and other athletes. Had a very good minor hockey career. Talked on the Outside the Chute podcast that he coached for a year and just didn't like all the hours that went with it and the little pay. Montero, they go home, they get one. So a good play there, but the defense in and perfectly positioned. And they erase Cam Schiller at the plate. Two out, but the base is still loaded for Ernesto Sanchez. There's Piquet again. Swing and a miss. You see all the signs there that Cruzeiro is flashing. Called strike on that outside corner. Schweier comes in and does the job, shuts the door on the Hallman Twins here in the top of the fifth. We'll go to the bottom. Fargo, Kegel Black Knights need 2 to tie. Zach Shaw, Jeff Lewis, and then back to the top of the shop. Alan Piquet again. Wimamata. Foul back there. Good cut by Zach Shaw. Grounded it to second in his first time up. Yep. Out to left and hauling that in near the fence. Mariano Montero. Zach Shaw gave it a ride, but just out to the warning track, such as it is. Got the defense moving as he thought about dropping a bunt down. Sanchez crashing in from third. Same with Lynch at first. And that pitch, as you saw, right into your living room, right down Iowa Street here in Eldridge. 0-2. Boland was ready for strike three, but not so, says our home plate umpire. But swing and a miss there, right over the top of the drop. Good drop from Wimamata. Jeff Lewis down on strikes for the second time tonight. Here he is again on your TV screen, Alan Picard. Little flare, that's going to get over the head of Anoka and fall in. Picard is going to speed right into second. Never broke stride, burst right around first, and up into second on what just a little lazy duck snort into short right. That's what speed will do for you. It brings up Blaine Milheim, and if he runs into one, suddenly we got ourselves a tie ball game. There he is again. Alan Picard on your TV screen. Milheim, one hopper right into the glove of Jonathan Lynch, and just like that, any threat is extinguished. Milheim chasing after the first pitch. We'll go to top of the sixth. Twins 4, Knights 2. Stay with us. Not sure if he's still with us, given that it's 1:30 in the morning back in Ontario. But if you still are with us, want to give a shout out to Scott Searle. Sent out a tweet that he had the game up on his big screen. So Huema Mata has mostly had things under control tonight. Felt that the attention span may have wandered a bit in the fifth. Sorry, that was the fourth, I guess. Like a good pitch from Squire. Then look out. The bat helicoptered right over the dugout as Mata apparently didn't put the gorilla grip on his batting gloves. And I don't know who might have been standing out behind the Kegel Black Knights dugout, but they might have been the recipient of a synergy suddenly landing in their lap. Toss the grip enhancer back to Teo Migliavaca. Put some extra bit on there, Huemel. Mata chops that one foul. You think about the day that we've had with a little bit of bonus coverage, turned into one of the longest 7-inning games ever played with J&B and Circle Tap Dukes. Manager ejection. Thought we were going to get a run taken off the board. There's Alain Pequer again. Swing and a miss there. Down goes Mata. Big cut. Comes up empty. Squire has really done well in a couple of relief appearances that he's been in for. Little chopper foul. Jonathan Lynch at the plate for the Hallman Twins. Strikeout and a ground out to his credit tonight. Chases after that drop ball. Good sequence there with Cruz Zera. 0-2. That misses downstairs. Trying to get Jonathan Lynch to chase there, but not having any of it. Cruzeiro had those signs buried so deeply. I'm not sure Robbie could see all the way in there for what he was supposed to throw. Now Lynch wants time. All right, let's see if they can agree on one here. Look like the waggle and then put down 2 fingers. The strikeout pitch is what he called for, and he got it. Lynch goes down. And we'll go back to Teo Migliavaca at the top of the Twins order. Drops down a bunt. It's a good one. Hard play to get. Migliavaca, just so much speed. And that bunt perfectly placed. I would like to see a foot race, first to third, or maybe first to home between Migliavaca and Piquer. There he is, Alan Piquer. He's back. I'd like to see that foot race, though, between Piquer and Migliavaca sometime. Somebody could time the two of them. Schweier missed outside there to Cam Schiller. Couple of singles tonight. 2 for 3. Migliavaca, as we just talked about, great wheels. Fly ball, center field. Easy out for Alan Piquer. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Twins still 2-run lead. Called strike from Huimamata to open things up against Federico Eder. Bottom of the 6th here. Early is getting late for the Kegel Black Knights. Chasing 2 runs. Sometimes it's as simple as a bloop and a blast, but you've got to get the bloop before you can get the blast. Todd McCullough says he'd give me a 2-base head start in the race against Piquet or Migliavaca. I still wouldn't win. Chopper on the infield. Schiller's going to have to hurry. Safe. Federico Eder beats out that high hopper on the infield. Schiller did everything he could, but Federico Eder, just too much speed. So there's the bloop part. Can Juan Cruz Zera provide the blast part? Mata opens up with a strike on the inside corner. And I don't know where that pitch missed. While Boland was busy protesting the call, overthrow, they're going to try and send him home. Here's the play at the plate. Eder slides in safe. And I don't think the Hallman twins have got anybody to blame but themselves on this one. Worried about the non-call at the plate. Federico Eder took off for second. The hurried throw bounced out to the outfield. And they couldn't get it in time. And suddenly, this is a one-run ball game. Assistant coach Ron Hackett out to have a conversation with his infield crew. I got to think this is a bit of a one-way conversation about paying attention and worrying about the game and not the call. So we'll see if Mata comes back with a little bit of fire here against Juan Cruz Zera. Comes in with the drop ball. And this one is lifted up, short left. Montero will reel that in. Mike Lewis will step in. Lewis ground out in a walk so far tonight. And there's a called strike, and Mata working with a little bit more urgency now after what can only assume to have been a chewing out by Hackett. Swing and a miss. They make short work of Mike Lewis. And I don't think that chewing out was really at Huemo Mata in general, if indeed that's what it was, but I think that was directed at the entire team. That was a bit of sloppiness and laziness on the part of the Twins there. Swing and a miss there, too. Just blew that right by Shea Bryant. So whatever fire they lit inside Huemo Mata the last couple of pitches, it's burning pretty bright. Well, chopper out to Schiller. Good strong arm, and they get Shea Bryant on the ground out. So the Twins, bit of a mental error leads to a run by manufactured by Federico Eder, draws the Knights to within 1. We'll go to the top of the 7th, and we'll see if the Twins can answer back. Top of the 7th here, Thomas Anoka, Riley Macchia, Ryan Boland. 3, 4, 5 for the Hallman Twins in their order. And they'll face veteran Robbie Schweier as he tries to keep his Fargo Kegel Black Knights within 1 and give them an opportunity to tie or maybe even win coming up in the bottom of the 7th. But got to get through the top first and the meat of the Twins' order. Down low. That look down low from Schweier. Anoka has a very good eye at the plate. Doesn't often chase. Upstairs, ball 4. Third walk of the night for Thomas Anoka. Riley Macchia. RBI single earlier in the game. And he'll dance out of the way of that inside offering from Robbie Schweier. Want to give a shout out to Taylor Weldon joining us from California. Good friend Jim Flanagan, hopefully still with us. It's getting late likely in California too. Never mind here. Sure, the Twins would dearly love to tack on an insurance run here in the top of the 7th if they could. Schweier has done well since coming in. Little Excuse me, check swing foul. Schweier finds a ball that he likes. Make sure everybody's got a supply of balls. Swing and a miss there. Good pitch. Took a little bit off that and had Riley Macchia just out in front of it. He'll be happy to see the end of Robbie Schweier tonight. 2 strikeouts in his 2 plate appearances against Schweier. Boland, not a night he's going to remember a whole lot either. A couple of strikeouts and a hit by a pitch. And that gets away from Schweier. You saw it bounce right up the screen in front of the camera. There goes Thomas Anoka up 60 feet. Boland pulls this one foul right into his own dugout. Schweier peers in for the sign. Over the top. Good drop from Schweier. Boland over the top of that. And this one is coming out to short right. Bryant has it drop out of his glove. Had it on the run, but just got it in the webbing of the glove, and it fell out. Unfortunate there for Shea Bryant. Thought he had that wrapped up. Boland aboard E7. Tough break there for Shea Bryant. Get us to Mariano Montero. Walk, strikeout, and fielder's choice for Montero tonight. But with a little single, can get the Twins that insurance run we talked about. Boland's still running for himself. They've got a couple of speedsters on the bench, particularly John Cialacomo, who could run for Boland at this late part of the game. Anything out in the grass, Bolin probably only goes to second. So Schweier to Montero. And this one lifted out to center. Piquet will haul that in. Wow, that's a strong throw to the plate, but indeed they do get the insurance run. So Montero, a sac fly RBI. Bolin just content to stay at first on that play. Saw the missile that Piquet had thrown in and wanted no part of getting picked off in a rundown. Sanchez fouls this one off at the plate. Another leadoff walk comes around to score. Tough to defend against. Late on that swing. In for a strike. Can't get the bat off the shoulder again. Sanchez got looking. We'll go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Kegel Black Knights chasing 2. Wimamata is going to try to shut the door on the Fargo Kegel Black Knights. BJ Gullick, Zach Shaw, Jeff Lewis, scheduled batters. A change up there from Mata. I haven't seen a lot of that pitch, but he's got a good one. This one punched out to left, and Montero one down. Hallman Twins 2 outs away from a trip to the winner's bracket final. Boland's going to come out and get that one. He hits the runner with the throw. They're going to ask whether he was in fair territory. They might have a case. They're going to get surrounded by white jerseys. And they're calling him out for being in fair territory. And there is some vocal opposition from the Fargo Kegel Black Knights. I think he's going to be there until he gets his money's worth and gets run. And our other umpire trying to keep the rest of the Kegel guys at bay. Couple of magic words there in that conversation. No, what's happened there, Luciano, is the runner was running in fair territory, and he's called out. He has to be on the other side of the line. He has to run in foul territory until he gets to the base. So Fargo, somebody got run out of this game over that one, but we're a long way away. It looked to me like he was in fair territory. We're a long way away. Can't judge exactly where the guy is. You saw it on the video. You had a better look at it than us. You can rewind it on YouTube. You can just hit the back 30-second button. The argument continues. It's not going to change anybody's mind at this point, but you might feel good about it in the morning. So we'll get reset after all that excitement. Jeff Lewis, the 9-batter. And first pitch fouls that one back. Foul ball. Again, looked like he inside the line. That one foul ball. Just to set the stage for you for tomorrow, we'll be on the air at 4 o'clock or thereabouts for the ISC 2 championship game. We'll also bring you the 6 and the 8 in the losers bracket in the ISC The Lumberjacks will take on the loser of this game at 6. And then the Chiefs and J&B will be in the night game. That promises to be a good one. Sean Cleary has eliminated the Chiefs in each of the last 2 ISC World Tournaments in 18 and 19. And this one, lined and caught. Cam Schiller will put an end to the game. Kitchener, Hallman Twins, 5. Fargo Kegel Black Knights, 3. The Twins punch their ticket to the winner's bracket final. Fargo will play the Lumberjacks tomorrow night on or about 6 p.m. That will be here on the ISC Network. For Luciano, I'm Blair Setford. Thanks for joining us here today. Long day again, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.